Hello and welcome back, parents and educators. I'm super excited to talk about how we can use this book, I Am Invited to a Party by my favorite author, Mo Willems, as a cornerstone text or a piece of literature that you can use to increase learning and comprehension for your students throughout the week. So, how would I plan for this book for next week? All of this stuff will be linked below, but here's how I would plan for this. So, here are the pieces that I would use and pull from this book to be able to plan for a week if I was teaching a kindergarten class or a beginning year first grade where I needed to make sure that my students had all the foundational skills. Okay, so the big focus would be on phonics, writing, reading, and sight words. So sight words are huge. Both parents and educators, sight words are huge in this book. So I wrote down a full list of words, over 25 words, from the Dolch and Fry's sight word list. But just to name a few, we've got I, am, a, look, it, is, will, you, go, and so on. You can see them all here. But this is a huge book. It says, if you Google it, that it's a level G book. The Lexile is 200 and it's a DRA level 12, which was really surprising because I use this a lot as a cornerstone text for my kinders to make sure that like they can go back to this book over and over because there are so many phonemes and opportunities for students to practice blending with the words in this book. So number one, I ran into some super duper tricky words that you can start by previewing for your students at the beginning of the week. Okay, so we've got invited, we've got surprise, party, we've got Gerald, we've got fancy, splash, and costume. Okay, so I would preview those first, and those would be the words that I build my lists throughout the week off of for kids to be able to practice other words, not just this word, not just these words, excuse me. So then, for writing, which is really where I start all this work between writing and phonics, for phonics, I identified 6 different phonemes that we could use throughout the week and focus on for students to really build up, right? AR, like in party, the Y, ending sound, so they can talk about Y is I, Y is E. We've got AN, we've got the long E, the double O for ooh, and then EA. Okay, so that's 6 that you can focus on. Then the other piece that I would continue to plan on is the writing portion. So many things I would want to do for writing throughout my year, but definitely throughout the week. And now we're in this distance learning stage of like, what can we not only just give our kids to do, but what can we do that's purposeful and that will lead to like a week's worth of learning, conversation, and skill building? Well, here it is, right? It says, I'm invited to a party. So 2 ways you can take this. You can focus on one of the phonemes, or you can talk about letter writing. Have students write letters. Have students write and send letters. If you're a teacher and you're open to having them send it to you, they can send it to you. They can send it to the school. If not, they can send it to their friends. Parents, this is a great way to get folks involved. Like usually we just text people a quick like, hey, want to jump on this Zoom? But have students write a letter to somebody and send it out, and then have them jump on the Zoom with them and read the letter back. A really cool way. Also, don't feel pressed to have the students write the entire letter. They're in kindergarten, so they can tell you what they want to say, and then what I would do as a teacher is be taking dictation and allowing them to dictate the body. But what I would focus on is either the greeting, or a specific portion of like the opening of the letter. Usually I have my students decide which word they want to use to greet somebody. We always start with the formal dear, but hello, what's up, hey, all those things, and all those ways to manipulate language to tell kids that like all these are okay. So that's where I would start with this at the beginning of the week. I would say, okay, for writing students, final result on Friday would be to write a letter to someone, whether they send it or not, that's okay. Or whether it's a Zoom and then they read it to them, that's also okay. But the end product and end result for parents would be to help their student or their child to write the letter, and teachers, it would be the end product for a grade or just to see how they're progressing with their writing would be to get a copy of the letter. The other piece is the reading part. If I was going to use this book all week, which I definitely would, it would culminate into a reader's theater. If you did not notice this, Willems is incredible at using these different text features, specifically the writing bubbles here, right? So Piggy's main color is pink, and guess what? The word bubble matches the color. Same with Elephant here. He is gray and his bubble's gray. And so throughout these Elephant and Piggy books, you can see that he uses this text feature. This is a reader's theater for me. I would have one student choose to be the elephant and one student choose to be the piggy, or a parent and a student, or whoever is available to read with them. And we would go back and forth and play the characters. We might even switch the characters. And at the end of the week, we would have a reader's theater. That's something that your student could, here's the connection, tie the letter that they're writing to what they're reading. So they could start at the beginning of the week and say, hey, by the end of the week, I'm going to read this book either on my own and make my own cool voices, or with me and my parent or my sister. And then I could go ahead and at the end of the week, write a letter to invite somebody to join me while I do this reader's theater. So those are some great ideas that you can use. Please click the link below if you would like to see some of the templates that I would use to be able to execute this week-long planning. And hopefully I'll see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.